doctor. My name is Evelyn. My entry number is 2715575 and my list number is 24. Now I'm going to present about the first issue, how Russia give pressure on MNC. Russia is a challenging place to do business, especially among the Western multinational corporations. For example, General Motors Company (GM) to withdraw from Russia and close its Russian plant and phase out the Opel brand in the country. Castles in Russia failed in 2014 as the economy suffered due to the Western sanctions on the Ukraine crisis and the falling oil price. So for the first point is, Russian government is intervening in the affairs of the Western business. At the beginning of the sharp deterioration US-Russian relations caused by the conflict in Ukraine 2014, Kremlin sued McDonald's for the violating government security regulation. Russia has closed 4 McDonald's stores in Moscow due to alleged health violations. So US and Europe have imposed sanctions on Russian banks, companies and officials, while Moscow has banned Western food imports. Besides that, Russian authorities raided an office of the Swedish furniture company IKEA, which has long struggled under Russian government intervention because it fired 2 senior executives based there in 2010 for ignoring bribery by a subcontractor. So the next point is, Russian government has tightened the regulation in recent years. Some of the company's clients who are executives of large multinational companies in US and Europe have reported additional unplanned facility inspection, rapid changes in labour requirements, regulatory changes threatened by the regional and federal governments, and increasing pressure on local hiring and production. They have also reported that they were threatened with fines at the Russian border customs as well as increase the delays and the payments. So, for example, H&M company is under criminal investigation in Russia for unpaid custom duties. So it is understandable that the Russian government has added many regulations to protect the consumer, including the licensing, sanitation, fire safety, certification, and others due to the lack of well-known of the companies and the widespread fraud. So that's all from me. Now I pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day, Doctor. My name is Nordiana Sharafina Binti Bakar, matrix number 273900. My attendant list number is 32, and today I will talk about the second issue, which is how the Russia's economic downturn has been affecting the MNC's operation. Before we move to the main issue, have you ever wondered why Russia faced economic downturn? The economists referred this recent economic downturn as the Russian ruble crisis. This financial crisis is stemming from two sources: the drop in global oil price and the financial sanction imposed on the Ukraine dispute. However, the drop in the global oil price was an even decisive factor as Russia's economy heavily relied on oil, making it vulnerable to the volatility of global oil price. As the result, the Russian government pursued a more rigid state policy which undermines the business environment. Now, let us see some of its impacts on the MNC operation. First, the falling value of the ruble has dramatically reduced the value of the Russia's currency, driving up the price. Thus, the central bank is compelled to raise interest rate and the cost of credit. As the result, MNC's distributors have difficulties to obtain loans, leaving them with less financial ability to buy and market the product. Overall, we can say that MNC was struck with severe credit crunch and their entire production and distribution network was disorganized. For instance, Systemair, a Sweden leading air conditioning manufacturer operating in Russia, their revenue was heavily affected as their customers loses half of their purchasing power and put their investment on hold. Other MNC, such as Orkla, the Norwegian consumer goods producer, decided to leave Russia in 2013 to avoid further losses. Next, the Russian government support for local or domestic firm resulted in restricted market access for the foreign firm. The government provides subsidies and required to prioritize the local producer regardless of their quality. While this law has benefited some of the Russia's companies, however, MNC finds it challenging to compete and doing business in Russia. Systemair, for example, was under pressure to reduce their price to compete with the cheaper domestic product. Other MNCs, such as Agtech, a Swedish technical textile manufacturer, claimed that they had experienced an abrupt stop in sales for more than a year. Besides that, in response to the West's financial sanction on Russia, the government decided to impose tick for tax sanction on various Western agricultural imports. For instance, Leroy Seafood Group, the Norwegian seafood company, was severely harmed when Russia imposed a ban on the Western agricultural product. Leroy even applied for exemption from the list of the section but was denied by the Russian government. I'll end my part for today and I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Rabi'ah Binti Sabri. My metric number is 268103 and number 6 in name list. Today, I will present the first solution, which is companies should determine which aspect of their business that most sensitive towards sudden change in foreign policy ties that can affect their operations, local partners, and customer. Firms should consider many aspects before entering global market because every countries have different rules and policy applies according to government that govern. That can cause trouble to a firm that don't prepare well before entering global market. By conducting a foreign market research and use a suitable entry strategy can help a firm to understand their foreign market well. So there are several entry strategy that can be used by a firm before entering global market, such as exporting, licensing, franchising, strategy alliances, and so on. And a company can choose which one of these entry strategy that can help them to achieve their goal in foreign countries. Next, we move to the US company sanctions. Recently, President Joe Biden had imposed a wide range of sanctions towards Russia as punishment for them because intervened in last year US elections, cyber theft, and for bullying Ukraine. US government had put Russian firms on blacklist, removed Russian diplomats, and prohibited US bank from purchasing sovereign bond issued by Russia's central bank. So for the US company that wish to enter Russia, they need to know and avoid the industry that had been implement ban or restriction by the US government by checking the Consolidated Screening List (CSL) that provide information about the list of countries that US government put restriction on certain export or transfer of goods And this thing is very important because if the company enter without doing the research and checking the consolidated screening list, they will only wasting their time and money. So from the consolidated screening list, US government put a lot of restriction towards Russia oil and finance company. So let's move to next slide, which is example of MNC company that enter Russian market, which is McDonald's. McDonald's opened its first restaurant in Moscow in 1990. Effect of the US and EU imposed sanctions on Russia had caused President Putin to ban import of $9.5 billion in food import from Western countries, which lead to increase toward agriculture industry in Russia. Or in other words, Russia start producing their own food. Normally, McDonald's outsource the majority of its supply chain operation in the United States. So they will import the ingredients such as the bun, the patty, the vegetables to the foreign countries that they wish to enter. But at that time, McDonald's cannot find a suitable local supplier. So McDonald's seek help from several European vendors, but the European vendor cannot take the Russian law and policy. So instead of giving up in Russian markets, McDonald's come with their own strategy, which is McDonald's cooperate with local supplier such as Russian farmer and baker as additional partners with the assistance of its joint venture partner, the Moscow administration. Next, McDonald's also bring in agricultural experts from Canada and Europe to help the farmers improve their management technique. In addition, McDonald's also provide and invest capital for the farmers to help them to buy a proper equipment and quality seeds. So McDonald's is MNC that show that they know the aspect that can affect their business, and instead of giving up, they come with their own strategy to success in the Russian market. So that's all from me. Thank you. We will move to the next presenter.
Good day, doctor. My name is Teh Quan Jun with metric number 270250 and my list number is number 15. Next, I represent the other solution that can taken by the MNC, which is localizing their business in Russia. Due to the rise of the economic pressure in Russia, the Russian government has started to prioritize the local company than foreign company in public tender, regardless to the quality. So, no matter how strong is your company, the international company is very difficult to get the tender in the project of the government. Hence, the international company and the MNC can localizing their business in Russia through the iron strategy, and they will feel more at ease to place their operation at there. They can get the benefit in reducing cost of business, spreading the uncertainty risk of investment, and also minimizing the exposure in the risky environment. For example, by joint venture and cooperate with the local company, the MNC and the international company can easily get the resources in a huge demand and at a cheaper price by sharing the resources and expertise with the local companies. As a result, the MNC can reduce the operational complexity and also can increase the cost of efficiency. Besides that, the local company has the experience and the understanding in the local of the law and culture in Russia. Thus, the MNC can reduce to expose in the risk of the geopolitical in Russia. Furthermore, the MNC localizing their business in Russia can attract the attention of the Russian government on how their intervention has impact in the business in the two aspects, which is high tax contribution by the MNC and also the aspect of higher local labor. The high tax contribution by the MNC and the trade system established by the Russian government can impact the decision of the domestic company on to join in the long-term overseas market partnership. Besides that, the problem of the local labor turnover is the another challenge will be faced by the international company and the MNC, which might bring a huge investment losses to the human capital, and also employee development. The Ford Motor Company is one of the example of the MNC who is owned by the US country and set up a joint venture with the local automotive company in Russia, which is Solus. They have reached up an agreement which is the Solus will help the Ford to set up the plants in Russia. Therefore, the Ford can save up the cost of business in setting up the plants in Russia. Besides that, the Russian government has granted the specialty custom rights for the foreign company who willing to localizing their business in Russia. As the Ford company has localizing their business in Russia through the island strategy, they can gain the benefit in the price to import the auto parts from the other country or the home country, thereby increase the cost of efficiency. Moreover, the Ford company has the opportunity to participate in the public tender in Russia, and they can compete, and the Ford company can compete with other local company. So that's all for me. Thank you.